Thank you very much for agreeing to take part in this project. I thought I would begin by explaining what this project is about and why we're doing it. We've been asked to do this project by the team responsible for children's rights in the Council of Europe. Now, the Council of Europe was set up in 1949 after the Second World War to help countries improve the way that they protect human rights. Its office headquarters are in Strasbourg, but it really is a big network of 47 countries, that's over 820 million citizens, who sign up to agreements or conventions and agree on guidelines about how to protect human rights. The most famous agreement is the European Convention on Human Rights, which lists all of the rights that our countries have to respect. This convention, which was created in 1950, is now incorporated into our law through the Human Rights Act of 1998. A big part of the Council of Europe's work is protection of children's rights, and it has created loads of guidelines and training materials and loads of agreements and conventions that relate to different aspects of children's lives. In 2010, it developed child-friendly justice guidelines. These guidelines are aimed at protecting children's rights when they are involved in justice proceedings. For example, when children are in trouble with the police, or are being taken into care, or if their parents are getting divorced and fighting over where they should live, or if they are immigrants and have arrived in this country on their own, or even if they disagree with their local authority about their plans to build office blocks over their local park. The Child-Friendly Justice Guidelines explain how children should be treated by the courts, by the police, by social workers, in all of these circumstances. The result is a really detailed set of guidelines that cover all stages of all justice proceedings involving children. The aim is that countries will use these guidelines to make children's rights better protected during justice proceedings, before justice proceedings, and after justice proceedings. It will help children participate more fully in decisions about their lives, instead of judges, lawyers, their parents, and social workers making decisions without involving them. It will help children better understand what is happening to them and why decisions are being made about them. It will make sure that they are better protected from any harm while they are in custody or in care. And it will make sure that they don't have to wait too long before a decision is taken by the courts or other people with authority. But the Council of Europe recognises that having detailed guidelines in place is only part of the solution to making legal processes better for children. Children and the people that work with them have to actually understand the guidelines, and they have to understand how they can be used in practice.
What's the point of the so-called social services being based for children, yet the basic one more around the parents, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't listen to the younger children because they think they're just going to lie. Or...
They don't listen to what you've got to say.
Yeah.
You see it as the too immature to understand the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When really, if you think about it...
We're more mature than what most adults are these days.
Yeah, what matters is the children, because you've got to think, it's the children that's going through it.
Yeah, it's usually
we're the ones that have to sit there and like sitting in the corner of the room watching your parents argue, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's usually your parents that's starting it in the first place.
Yeah. The documents that they're doing us, we should get a fair share like of the copy that they get. We should get that and also like
we have your own file to keep.
Exactly.
Where you can
we
keep
have the
it
proof
safe.
that they've said that will happen.
Yeah,
so like if they lose it, they lose theirs, then you've got it there.
Yeah,
if
we got our own right to ask for it,
you can find out what your rights are.
Is there this law that says I can say, well look,
no.
I want everything that you've got about me. Do you know whether there is?
Most kids that are in care, like they're like young, so like they wouldn't be able to find like a solicitor.
Yeah.
Or like, or if they do go to the police, then like the the children
They're not
at the end of the
taken
day, they don't take
seriously,
it serious. Like,
Yeah.
this is more to adults and
They
that.
don't look at you independently.
Like, what you need in that situation is like a young person's complaining system. So
Yeah.
like, so it's like for young people like ourselves and that. Everything else is like it's always adults involved,
Yeah.
and like
They get
they
famous.
think that adults are more important than us children.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Jamie and I work with Investing in Children County Durham and the European Children's Right Unit on child-friendly justice to find out young people's views on child-friendly justice. Well, we done agenda days with about 20 young people, where we asked them about this, the leaflet that has been developed by the Council of Europe.
A lot of them thought that they'd be really good for if they were going through a court proceeding, because obviously it gives them kind of an idea on what they can and they can't do whilst there, and also they can use them in just a day-to-day kind of basis where if they get stopped by the police.
The people that we've spoke to have agreed that they think justice isn't just in the courts. Justice is life. Justice is starting from when the incident happens all the way up to the court and months after. And they would like somebody like the social system, social workers for example, that don't just have to, as soon as the case is over with, finish the file and that's it, to a couple of months after the court case to go and see them, see how everything is settling in, make sure everything's still okay, because going through court is a traumatic experience. I personally know a social worker and I asked her about the child-friendly justice guidelines and she had no idea about them, and she's been a social worker for 10 years almost. So if somebody who's been a social worker for 10 years doesn't know, children aren't going to know. We personally think that everybody needs to know about the guidelines. There's no use in just teaching the kids or the adults because they won't tell each other. We need to keep social workers, teachers and the children all involved in updates to the guidelines to help them use it themselves, but to also help them help other people.
A lot of young people have told us that when they're going into like court proceedings, when they've had like parents divorce and all them kind of situations, that if their social worker knew about the guidelines and told them about the guidelines, it would make the social worker's job a lot easier in the long run, as at least the child would then understand and there'd be a less chance of there being any problems later on with the child, and it would just overall make everything a lot easier.
The ideas that the young people had was to start off by using simpler words to basically help them understand it. Shorter paragraphs and pictures that have something to do with child-friendly justice, but also pictures that are going to lure them in, that are eye-catching and kind of helps itself.